Now, the next question we looked at actually came from June 2009, also paper 1, so you could go look for that question as well if necessary. So we're given OA and OB, and we're asked to find the value of the dot products between those. So O dot A, and I sometimes think it's easier to write them as column vectors. So I'm just taking the numbers of I, J, and K, the coefficients. And for OB, 7, 2, and -1. So if I'm working out just the dot product at this point, I'm just timesing and adding. So 14 plus -16 plus -4. And if I add those together, I get -6. Now for this one, it actually just asks us to state whether this would mean the angle is acute, obtuse, or a right angle. Now we know right angle means 90 degrees, which also means perpendicular, and that's one of the key ones you're supposed to know, which is 0. What you might not be aware of is if it's acute, you have a positive answer for this, and if it's obtuse, you have a negative angle. Now the reason that's true is if it's between 0 and 90, cosine is positive for those values. If it's obtuse, as in between 90 and 180, then the graph of cosine is negative for those values. So as this says -6, that would actually imply for this one that our question is obtuse. Now for part 2, this is going to be very similar to what we did on the previous question. So we're told that AX is equal to 2/5 of AB. Find the unit vector in the direction of OX. So this is the point really where you probably want to pause the video, see if you can answer the question, and then come back to the video. So first of all, we've got to work out what AB is. So those vectors that I just erased, let me draw them back again. 7, 2, and -1. So as we're doing this, when we're trying to find A to B, we're going to do B take away A. So 7 take away 2 is 5, 2 take away -8 is 10, and -1 take away 4 is -5. So that's the length of AB, but actually what I want is, I want 2/5 of AB. So I got to distribute through here. So 2/5 of 5 would be 2, 2/5 of 10 would be 4, and 2/5 of -5 would be -2. So what I've worked out there then is this part here. Now I'm trying to find A to X, so I know what X is. It's this 2, -8, 4. I don't know what X is, but I do know together the answer is going to be 2, 4, and -2. So I'm going to do that same trick that I did before. Something take away 2, because that's how you find A to X, you do this take away this. Something take away 2 is 2, so this will be 4. Something take away -8 is 4. That should be -4. Let me just check. -4 take away -8 would be -4 plus 8. Yep. And something take away 4 is -2, and that should just be 2. 2 take away 4 is -2. So we figured out what X is, and then once again, they've asked for this unit vector in the direction of OX. So as we know X, we know this is also OX. We want to find out what the length is, and we're trying to make it into the length 1, really. So 3D Pythagoras again, so 4 squared plus -4 squared, which is the same thing as 4 squared, plus 2 squared, 16 add 16 add 4 is 36, which gives us a length of 6. Now we don't want this to be length 6 though, we just want it to be length 1, so we're just going to divide by 6. And actually you could just leave it like that actually, and that would be a perfectly acceptable answer. Kind of like factoring. We know we're going to distribute through, but it's kind of better to leave it leave it with it's already factored. And that would be sufficient for you to actually get 7 points on that question there.